Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Boost Up English Live. Got the sound going. This is the number one live stream for you to learn how to listen to American English like a native speaker. Here, I teach you exactly what to listen for, how to identify it, and how to train your American accent. So, today we've got a great show. This is the number one most requested topic from my viewers, from my students, from everybody that watches my videos. You guys want me to talk about placement. And I understand why, because I always bring up placement. I think I bring up placement more than any other teacher I've seen online. And there's a reason for that, because it's the most important thing when you're talking about the American accent. So you guys are going to learn exactly how I identify placement, what I listen to, and you can start doing it right away to start moving forward with your training. So the reason why I talk about placement so much is because without American placement, without the placement of American English, nothing else will sound clear or natural. You could technically make every consonant, every vowel sound with the perfect mouth position. And if you don't have the correct placement or natural placement, it will probably sound even harder to understand. So I know that some teachers bring up placement sometimes in videos, but they don't really deep dive into it. And this is going to be a deep dive into placement. And I think this is going to be the most important live stream that I will ever do. So you guys get your beverages and your notes, notepads, and all that, and get ready to really learn where to start in American English. I've been teaching American pronunciation for over 10 years, and I've taught easily more than 1,000 students, right? Some for longer times than other, but I have worked with easily over 1,000 students. So what I'm teaching you here is something that every student needs to work on to some degree or less, and usually you need to work on it a lot. This is the number one thing that I do spend time working on in my classes, because I have never had a student come to me that understands what placement is, how to identify it, and how to train it. Even if they've worked with other coaches, even if they've worked with all of these new AI apps, they never fully understand how to identify, how to create, and how to train placement until they start working with me. So, everyone, get ready for this. Make sure you hit the like button if you're coming in. On your way in, smash the like button. Drop in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from, what country, what city, what's your native language. And we're about to get going. So, let's jump into it. All right. So, placement. What does placement mean? Placement is where the energy of your voice originates, where the sound of your voice comes from. Every language has a different placement. Every language powers their voice from a different part of the body. They use different muscles to create the sound of their voice. So, American English, our placement is characterized by the body. So, I call it the body voice. Some teachers talk about the pathway of the voice, but we speak from the body. Most of you start thinking about languages, you automatically start thinking about the face, the mouth, right? Speaking from here. That is not how you speak American English, and that is not how American listeners listen to the language. So we're going to break this down piece by piece, because it is it has several factors to it. There's not just one thing you can say, okay, if you do this, then it's placement. Okay, there's some things, a collection of things that together combined give you a natural placement the whole time you're speaking. Okay, so American placement. Let's put it here. American placement is characterized by connection, vibration, and resonance. So this energy vibration that you feel right here. This is the characteristic that the overwhelming majority of American speakers have. Obviously, you can go dig around and find some exceptions of someone who's technically a native speaker that doesn't do that. But guess what? If they don't have this to the rest of the native speakers, they also sound different, sound strange. Okay, so the first thing when I'm listening to a student or teaching a student how to hear a placement is that I show them this core sound. This sound here. So what is this sound? This is a sound that's coming all the way from my diaphragm, coming all the way up and being created here. If you listen, there is no characteristic of this sound in my mouth. There's nothing about everything about the sound is down here. This is just a pathway or a tunnel or openness for this to come out. Like that. So that's the easiest way to talk about this if you want to just wrap it into one thing. Because if you listen to my voice right now, you hear that similar vibration. The sound is living in the body. American sounds never live in the mouth. So when you're listening to me, you hear this sound the whole time I'm speaking. You never lose it. It doesn't go away. And this is what American listeners are trained to follow. We want you to take this sound and change it. Change the shape with the articulators. So, American accent or the way that we use our voice is basically like an instrument, right? If you think about whatever, the trumpet, saxophone, where you blow the energy or the air through the same tube every time and you change the keys all the way at the end, that's what we're doing. This is the tube. We blow the air through the whole way and then we just softly change the keys by changing the shape or changing the length or making the pitch go up and down. Every sound in American English is the same There's only one sound in American English. So I can take this and I can go A-E-I-O-U. We're having a nice class right now. Do you want to come to the game? Let's go to the park, right? And I just add a little bit of musicality, but you see, it all came through one connected group of air from the same place. So when an American listener is listening to the language, they want to trace the vibration of this body voice all the way through, up and down through the whole sentence. Listen to me right now. You can hear this the whole time. This is where we listen to the language. We don't listen to the language up here. We don't listen to the language here. We don't listen to the language here. We listen to the language here. So when you guys hear me saying that American listeners don't listen to individual letters, that's what I'm talking about. We're listening to the shape that the articulators change of this air coming through here. Okay, so talking about listeners identify letters by changing the shape of the continuous stream of energy. So it's not enough just to bring the energy up in bursts, right? If I go like this, there's still some energy coming from my body. But what our ears want to hear is we want to actually hear that energy moving forward and past the tongue, the lips, the shape of the jaw. Okay? Any consonant sound is represented by energy moving forward. Any vowel sound is represented by energy moving forward. Right? We could take this, any of these here. Look, this is a good one. Voice. Listen. If you listen to the letters, you're not going to be listening like a pro. You're going to be listening like a beginner. If you listen to voice, 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 that's the mouth sound. Our ears are listening to this energy moving forward. Voice. Voice. You see how my energy never stops moving forward? Right now, the energy is continuously moving forward, and that's how our ears understand which letter is being pronounced. What's up, everyone? Smash that like button. Let me know in the chat where you guys are watching from. What country, city, what's your native language? Okay. So we know American placement must have connection, vibration, and resonance. If you don't have this, it is hard for us to keep our ears locked into what you're saying, into your voice. It's easy for us to get distracted because our ears are trained to follow this. So that's the first step. That's the first thing you should be looking for, paying attention to. The second thing is the musicality, the melody, the pitch, because it's not enough just to bring the energy from the body. Okay, and there's lots of different ways that I've seen students try to do this. So the way that I'm doing this again is I'm engaging my diaphragm and I'm being patient and I'm turning on a singing quality. So I'm not just trying to pop or explode my voice out, right? Some students will say things like above, around, uh, 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 right? With this, right? To try to find this energy here, right? That pop or explosion or burst is not placement. Why? Because it's not being controlled from the diaphragm. It's just a muscle, basically muscle spasm, right? We're controlling everything from here. Another thing students trying to do to find this inside the body energy is they try to push their voice down. This is probably I think every student does this. It's probably the first thing you guys try. When I say, hey, you got to have vibration here, you guys all go like this. You guys push your voice down, right? And you're like, yeah, now my voice is inside my body. Yes, it is inside of the body, but I think everybody can hear that it doesn't sound natural, right? Placement is not making your voice deep. That's why I don't like to use the word deep. I just had a student ask me about it today. He's like, yeah, when I'm doing this and this, it feels deeper. I said, it's not deeper. It's just connected. So that's why it's important to use musicality, singing, because musicality is bringing the energy up, right? From the diaphragm. And if you listen from the diaphragm, I'm creating this vibration as well. If I push it down, I have a vibration, but it's not my voice. Okay, so that musicality also creates this smooth rise of the voice. Musicality comes from the diaphragm, from here, this muscle. Okay? Not here. Together, around, become. No, together, around. So you have to be patient and wait for your air to come up. Probably most of you in the beginning are going to have to take a deep breath, right? If you do it right now, whoever's watching, take a deep breath, not from your nose, from your mouth. Take a deep breath and fill up your lungs as much as possible. I guarantee all of you just went way farther down into the reserve of your air, or your lung capacity than you did normally with your normal breathing or your normal speaking. Every sound that you hear from my mouth is actually air that started down here. So that's why I use my diaphragm and I'm patient. I bring it up, I activate my singing voice, and I keep the energy moving forward. Okay, so we know there needs to be vibration, but it's not just enough to have vibration. We need melody. Not to be understood, but to make ourselves sound natural. If I just bring this here with this like this with no melody, right? It's still vibrating from the body. But if I add some melody here, do you hear how you can hear this musicality and this melody? That's what starts to make it sound like a real speaking voice and natural. And one thing about this melody and musicality is that, especially as non-native speakers, you guys will never, ever, ever add too much musicality. You won't do it. I don't care what you think. I've been doing this, like I said, for over a decade. Thousands of students, and I've never seen a student all the time I said more musicality, more musicality, more musicality. And you to the point where the student thinks that it's just so much and it's never too much. Most of the time it's just comfortable for my ears when they do the singing, right? The melody. Maybe if they put a lot, it might just create a little bit extra emotion. But guess what? That emotion, the pitch, the musicality actually locks in the listener's attention. So I have already challenged many students. I was like, I dare you to show me, send me an example of you using too much musicality. I've never seen it. So don't think that you can use too much singing voice. You won't. What you will do is use too much speaking voice. And you'll use too much speaking voice and you'll start to speak forward like this. And this is how you'll start to use your voice. And it won't sound natural. But if you bring it from here and you'll start using your melody, your musicality, right? That's when it starts to sound natural because I'm singing and not speaking like that. Am I a Native American speaker? Thanks for the question. I'm a native speaker of American English, but I'm not a Native American. Usually we call Native Americans, we call indigenous people Native Americans, but I'm a native speaker of American English. Thanks for the question. Where are you listening from, Marco? Where are you located? All right, so we know we need musicality. We can't just use our speaking voice. We have to be patient, bring the energy up, and this creates a vibration and a melody here. And this is what the listener's ear's focusing on. We're not focusing on individual letters. We're focusing on how this energy changes shape. Okay, so the next thing we need to know is about pitch. Pitch, what I mean by pitch is that I can hear the sound moving up and moving down. The difference between pitch and volume is that volume is just if my voice just magically appears from here to here, right? If I go like this, I'm just turning up the volume. But if I go like this, and you can hear the sound go up and down, that's the pitch. And our ears want to hear that musicality, that vibration and melody all the way up and all the way down. You can't just take me up. I want the full journey. That's what my ears are waiting to follow the whole time I'm speaking. Pitch going up and keep moving forward. So that's why you need to have musicality the whole time you're speaking. All right, Colombia. ¿Qué más pues, parce? Todo bien. Melo. All right, man. Colombia in the house. Okay, so, right? Connection, vibration, resonance, musicality, melody, pitch. Never let the listener lose the feeling or the sound of melody and vibration. Okay, the other thing here, and this is more something that will destroy your placement. You can do all of these other things, have this connection, wait, bring the energy up, musicality, melody, and pitch. But if you put too much emphasis on the consonant sounds, it's going to take away from your placement. So what do I mean by that? You only have so much energy available to use in your body. So we want to dedicate as much energy as possible to this diaphragm musicality body. Consonant sounds happen here. So if you start pronouncing consonant sounds really clearly and perfectly, then you're robbing the energy from the body. And that's what most of you will start doing right away. I guarantee 99.9% of you will do that because that's the way that your language works. For example, Colombia, Spanish is a perfect example. You guys, in your language, the consonant sounds bring the value. So your ears are used to hearing crisp, clear, perfect consonant sounds. So as soon as you create that consonant sound here, you lose the drive of the energy. You lose at least some of the connection, and it's really hard to make pitch. For example, our boy Marco in Colombia, right? If they want to talk about the park, they say parque, 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 pa, 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 parque, parque, right? And they want to hear parque, right? But if you hear Americans say that word, we say parque. Hear the difference? Parque, 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 parque. Why? Because the Spanish speaker, and really, guys, I've worked with all languages. You guys all do this to some level or not. You guys want to hear those perfect consonant sounds. And notice, when I do the perfect consonant sounds, there's no journey of the pitch. There's no resonance. You cannot trace this vibration all the way through, right? Listen. Parque, 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 pa, 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 pa. There's no parque, parque, right? And that's why, right, Spanish speakers, you guys said that we drag our words, right? We're dragging, but it's not dragging. We're highlighting the vibration, and we're making that vibration obvious the whole way through, up and down. We only listen to vowel sounds. So when we're creating consonants, the way that we do that is we slide and just change the shape, right? So when I'm talking, you can hear that the consonants exist, but they're very, very soft. You see what I'm doing is I'm just bringing the energy up, keeping it moving forward. And to make any consonant, I could say like this or parque. Do you see how soft the consonants are? Right? I speed it up, parque, parque, parque. But it's not ba, 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 or ba, ba, or ma, ma, or na, la, right? I'll do a class on soft consonants training later, because it's not enough for you guys to just hear this from my mouth. You guys have to actually spend time listening to the difference between the way your ear expects to hear consonants and the way that American speakers pronounce consonants. Okay? So that's how you identify and listen to and train yourself and understand placement. So it's not something you guys are just going to pick up right away after this lesson, right? You're going to have to go piece by piece. You're going to have to spend some time listening to connection and vibration, but you can start doing that right now. Go to your whatever media. I know you guys are all watching. If you're watching me, you guys are all watching American stuff, right? So start listening to how the voice is down here. And this is the whole time. This is what's happening, right? And then start paying attention to the pitch, the melody, the musicality, and then start listening to how consonant sounds are not bringing any of the value to the listener, to the speaker. All right. So, questions about placement. Something you didn't understand. Throw it in the chat. Something you want me to give another example of. You guys are here live right now. Normally I charge money for this. So if you have a question, put it in there. Marco, thanks for the interaction. Ask me about grammar. I am not a grammar expert, but let's see. What does it say? Is it okay to say shift to first when I need to shift the gear? I think. Sounds okay to me. Has this question been bothering you for some time? I think it's okay. All right, look. You can get away speaking English without placement to some degree. But guess what? There's actually sounds that are impossible for you to pronounce without placement. You can create some kind of version or maybe in some cases you won't even be able to create it at all. Because why? Because the sounds depend on this energy coming through the body. Because we need to shape this energy to create these specific sounds. So the sounds that are impossible to pronounce without natural placement would be the schwa, which is just right? That's all it is. It's just it's this nothing else. So if you can't bring energy and musicality and speak to me here, You'll never really have a schwa. You can do some kind of weird version. You can say ah, 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 oh, ah, oh. But you guys can see that doesn't sound the same. Same thing with this. This is just stress. This is just a bigger. Actually, we're going to cover this one. Stick around because we're going to go over some examples of this one right after this. But this sound, again, it's new. These are neutral sounds. Both these sounds are neutral. So you don't do anything with the mouth. You leave the mouth soft, relaxed, with just some space for this air to come out. Or. And that's it. No other version actually sends the signal that means that sound. If you do something else, you're being understood through context, not through the actual sound. The R sound, you can't pronounce the R sound without placement. Why? Because the R sound is deep, deep, deep down here, right? There's two versions of the R. There's the consonant and the vowel, but both of them are in here. Red, really, race. You hear this? It's not red, really, rice. Or a lot of you guys will really, right? Definitely not here. We hear this vibration in the tongue position with the vibration going over the tongue. Or if it's the vowel, it's bird, church. You hear this? It's down here. Bird, church, word. One that you guys always say. I have a whole class. You guys say wadak. This is just word, work, like that. Okay? Our famous shit and sheet. You can't pronounce these sounds. This is why you guys spend years trying to figure out how to pronounce these sounds, because you don't have placement. And without placement, these sounds don't exist. These are just sounds that are showing us a strong stream of vibration and flow forward, right? This one here is just Where do you hear the sound? It's not here. It's just here. So if you don't have placement, it won't work. Same with this. The next one, E. Where is it? E. It's not E. I'm going to show you how to pronounce these sounds all one by one. We'll have classes on it, but I wanted to go over this placement class before we do these. The dark L. Most of you guys probably don't know there's two types of L's, right? You can do the light L without placement. You can go la, right? That's what you guys do. But the dark L, where do you hear that? It's just vibration. Right? So anytime you have an L that is at the end of the syllable, all right, you guys are always asking how to pronounce these words. You guys are always asking how to pronounce these words. Girl, world. Look, it's down here. Girl, world. That's why you guys can't do it, because you don't have placement. Or even these words. This is actually, how I started getting into this. That's why you guys can't pronounce this, because it's down here's vibration is changed. It's not change it. It's changed like that. So this is why, even if you don't want to sound like a native speaker, you need placement if you actually want to pronounce the language. So again, I'm going to go through these in their own separate classes. Today we're going to look at but yeah, those are the sounds. And these are the sounds when I'm listening to you guys say, hey, can you check my placement? I'm tuning into all of these other things we talked about: connection, vibration, resonance, musicality, pitch, emphasis on vowel, not consonant. But I'm also really, really listening hard to those sounds. All right. Questions, put them in the chat. Drop in the chat where you're from, where you're listening from. Marco says, the letter R sounds very different sometimes. I think is one of the words which probably we can sound a little more fluent. Do you agree? Yeah, if you can master the R, that means you've mastered placement, or you're controlling your placement on some level. And yeah, I mean, I think the R is definitely one that, for beginners is very challenging. So, but don't try to jump into any of these sounds before you start working on your placement. Work on your placement first, because you need placement for everything. And if you try to work on these sounds, guess what? You're going to start worrying about the mouth position instead of all this. You got to get to the point where you can do this without thinking about it and then start worrying about the sounds that go on top. All right, so let's check this out. Some examples. So I will, as usual, be sharing this page here. Actually, it's in the description. So if you guys want to click on it right now, you can follow along like that. Or, you know, if you're watching the replay, but it's in the description right now. This is my video covering these words. It's a similar video. It's not as deep dive as what we just did today, but these are sounds. So this is core sound, right? Or did I put somewhere that say core? Yeah, it's a core sound. So core sound, this is the sound that all of the other sounds come from. I already showed you guys how all sounds just are Everything is but here we're going to be able to see how we can put it in stressed, unstressed, and how we're going to slide past the consonant sounds. All right, so look at this. The first one. I already know what you guys are going to do when you see this word. You're going to look at the A and you're automatically going to go, ah, 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 ah. Guess what? Do you guys hear placement? No, there's no placement. Ah, or And right, this is unstressed, so it's a small And this is a big right? Doesn't matter that it's spelled with O, right? You can see the symbols here. So we know that they're both big and little, but the challenge is that you need to get past this B, right? So you can't make the crisp, strong B that your ears love in your language. You've got to make the energy moving forward, just like we talked about. So listen to how I bring the energy up with musicality. You can follow my voice here, and I just do the softest B ever and just go up into the pitch. Listen. Above. Above. It's not above, 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 or above, above, above. It's just above. Right? The overwhelming characteristic of this sound is the resonance, the vibration, the musicality, and the vowel, not the consonant. Same thing here. All of these letters that create lip contact are so tempting for you guys to go ma, 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 ma. That does not exist. Ma does not exist. That's not how you pronounce an M. An M sound is just the vibration in a different shape because our ears hear the difference between the neutral and and guess what? That's the M. So you guys are going to have a hard time just committing to You guys are all going to want to go ma, 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 among, 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 among. That is not placement. Well, it's placement, but it's placement in the mouth. So instead of among, it's among. Hear the difference? Listen. Among, 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 among. Listen to my voice down here. Among, like that. All right, next one. You guys see it. This one here now, we're starting with a consonant sound. So because it's a consonant sound, your brain is going to want to pronounce the consonant sound first. You're going to want to go ba, 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 ba. But that does not exist in English. It's not a sound. I'm going to start my voice first with musicality. Bring the energy up, keep my singing voice, and focus on the energy going past the soft lips. So it's like this. Boo, boo. Just listen. Just spend some time listening. Boo, boo, boo. Versus ba, 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 ba. Right? This one, ba, 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 has tons of identity in the B, and none of that exists in English. But boo, 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 boo. My lips are just so soft, and the energy of the musicality is just going through. Boo. And I'm going to do the same thing when I get to the K sound. I'm not going to say gum, gum. So this is one of the traps when you guys come into those stress syllables. You try to use the consonant sound as a springboard to push you up. So a lot of you will say gum, 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 gum. But remember, that's not pitch, that's volume, because you're just starting here and magically appearing here. My ears can't trace your voice going up and down, right? Bakam, bakam, bakam. But if I say become, that's placement because you can hear the vibration going all the way up and all the way down. become. And you hear, when I go into the stressed syllable, you can hear that musicality intensify by like 3, 400%. Listen, become. It's musical the whole time, but in the stress, it's even more musical. Listen, become, become, and you don't hear this become. It's become. You hear the energy going forward. So, you guys, that's how you do it. You don't need to learn anything else. All you need to do is do this every time. But that's the hardest part, because every time you guys see a different word with a different combination of letters, you guys start changing and your brain starts going back to what it remembers. You start trying to figure out what to do differently with your mouth for each letter. Listen, you will be more easily understood if you use placement, musicality, and contrast with the pitch and with the length than if you have the correct mouth positions for the words. 100% of the time, no exceptions. That is not what makes you easy to understand. Okay? Look at this one. Bruh, bruh, bruh. I mean, first of all, you guys, most of you probably don't even know which vowel this is. You guys will probably go brah, ah, ah. Like, you guys want to make it like more like father. It's not father, it's just All of these are the same vowels, right? You see how many different types of spelling there is. So we're not going to say brother, right? That's speaking forward. That's speaking from the mouth. Brother. No placement, no connection, no melody. Brother. Or brother. You hear how more bright, open, warm that is? That's what our ears are connected to. Next one, don't start with K. Don't say ka, ka, ka. Start the engine, get the momentum going, turn on your musicality, slide right into the vowel, and keep the vibration going down to the Listen, come, come, like that. Same thing here. Come, and look, you guys, this is a good example, because what's going to happen, maybe some of you are getting good at starting your voice here and going come, come, come. But guess what? You're not good yet at keeping the energy moving forward all the way through the end of the word. I guarantee it. I know, because I've seen it over 1,000 times, right? You're going to go company, company. Listen, company, company instead of company. You hear the difference? You hear that energy moving through? Company, like that. That's how our ears follow the sound. All right. Let me see. We're not going to do all of these here, but you guys can come and you guys click on these links. You can go to Youglish and you can listen to more examples. I'm not going to go through all of these, or if you want me to go through all of them, send it in. drop something in the PayPal. I'll stay here all night and go over them. So look, here's some sentences. Let's do this one right here. Okay, so now the challenge is to keep your musicality, right, from using air that started all the way at the bottom of the lungs, the diaphragm. Keep your singing all the way up and down, all the way to the final sound. Right? So, you guys see the sentence? Okay, stop staring at the sentence. What I'm about to say is not written down there. What you need to listen to is right here. Listen to this. They, right? I'm not going to start on and say, they. That's not placement. Placement is musicality from here. Listen. They found a gun among the luggage. They found a gun among the luggage. Just listen to the musicality here and how the energy is moving forward past all of the consonants. They found a gun among the luggage. This is what we listen to. They found a gun among the luggage. I'm not saying they found a gun among the luggage. They found, and look at how relaxed I'm doing everything. Look at how relaxed my lips are. They found a gun among the luggage. Not they found a gun among the luggage. Right? They found a gun among the luggage. They found a gun among the luggage. This is where the information gets transmitted from native speaker to native speaker. This is our secret communication device here inside the body. You guys use your mouths. We use the body. Okay, so, right, more sentences. If you want me to go through all of them, send it in. Send it in. Scan that QR, send it in. Or if you're just coming in, go press rewind because you missed a whole bunch of stuff that is really important. So, guys, don't forget, you guys can follow me on social media. You guys are already here on YouTube. Obviously, I'm on LinkedIn. I post mostly on YouTube though. And if you guys need more practice, you guys should hit up Rachel's English. Rachel's English is the best source of materials and training, and it's a huge community with thousands of students that are all working on the same thing. There are so many students working on placement in Rachel's English, and you get feedback from teachers like me about your placement. You can send audios, you can send videos, we'll listen and we'll send you feedback. And if you use my coupon code Josh10, you'll get 10% off for life. So, I recommend getting the lifetime subscription. You pay once and you can have this resource forever. But Rachel's English is the biggest and the best and the most interactive with real live teachers that you can find. All right. So what should we do? I don't want to make this live super long. What should we do? Should we do phrase chunks or should we do accent analysis? I think we should do phrase chunks. Phrase chunks is really what moves the needle for you. Accent analysis is just me messing around, having fun. It's more like a roast than actual help for you guys, just roasting people. All right, so guys, remember in the future classes, if you want me to analyze your pronunciation, you can scan the QR code, send me a video, and I'll go over your pronunciation live on one of the live streams. All right, so let's check out some phrase chunks. So what are phrase chunks? What do I mean when I say phrase chunks? Phrase chunks are the only way that actually works to learn a language. Focusing on grammar does not help you learn a language. It helps you be an academic, but it doesn't help you actually use the language in regular situations. Guys, remember, I've been living in Colombia for over 10 years, and when I got here, I didn't know Spanish, and I didn't start out studying every grammar tense. I got here, and there was things I needed to do, so I learned what the phrase was, but most importantly, I learned how to pronounce it in a way that the people understood. Because if you don't know Spanish, you didn't grow up around Spanish, it's not obvious how to pronounce something for Spanish speakers' ears. So that's what I did, right? I had to go to the grocery store. I learned how to say a couple phrases in the grocery store in a way that they could understand. I remember the first time I went to the bank, it was horrible. So many new words, but I got through it because I knew how to basically describe some things in a way that people understood. So, phrase chunks. Today we're working on some of them are or some of them were. So how do you guys pronounce this? I am betting most of you say some of them are, some of them are, or some of them were. That's what I hear from most of the students. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm lying. If I'm lying, that's not how most non-native speakers pronounce it. Put a 1 in the chat. Some of them are, some of them were. I hear that every day. All right, but remember, we need to use body sounds. We just did placement. If you didn't see before, you should rewind right now. You missed the most important part. We use body sounds. So we're transmitting information here and we're changing the shape. So I'm not pronouncing every letter or every word. I'm changing the shape of musicality in the body. So when I pronounce it, this is kind of a more of a representation. I would say, listen to the energy here. Some of them are, some of them are, some of them are, some of them are. Listen to the energy moving forward. Some of them are, it's not some of them are, some of them are. Gotta have musicality. Or if it's past, some of them were, some of them were. Listen, you never hear this energy stopping. You hear this energy moving forward the whole time. Some of them were. Okay? So this is a phrase you guys can start dominating right now, and you can add whatever you want, and you can start communicating. Even if the next part isn't perfect, you already have the listener's attention. They already know the context. They're already following along, and they can work with you a little bit on the other part. So what are we gonna put? What do you guys want? What noun do you want here? Or sorry, adjective. What do you want? Drop it in the chat. Expensive, cool, stupid, old. So look, if you can start out saying some of them are, the native speaker's ear is locked in. They already know what you're talking about, and they're waiting here. And you don't have to be perfect with this, but if you do the same thing, just bring the energy, the musicality, and sliding with the energy moving forward, sliding past the words, just changing the shape, you'll be understood. So, you guys, repeat after me. Don't just stare at me. Don't stare at the words. Use your ears. Imitate this sound, what you hear right here. Listen. Some of them are expensive. Some of them are expensive. You hear how much musicality I put in? Expensive. Listen to how short. Expensive. It's not fast. Expensive. It's expensive. Musical. Repeat it. Some of them are expensive. Some of them are cool. Some of them are cool. Some of them are cool. Some of them are stupid. You hear that? I didn't say sto. I used the musicality to slide right through, went into the vibration of ooh, and kept the energy moving past pid. I didn't say stupid. Stupid. Hear that? Down here. Some of them are stupid. Or some of them are old. Some of them are old. All right, so that's present tense. What should we put? The opposites here. Some of them are what? Cheap? Or some of them were, sorry. Some of them are, was it boring? Smart? Young? So now we're doing past tense. It's almost the same. We're just changing this part, right? Instead of some of them were, right? I'm using a different shape with my lips, and I'm saying some of them were. Some of them were. Some of them were, like that. So do the same musicality. Don't stop the musicality. Don't get trapped into che, be, sma, ya. Going right past. Listen. Some of them were cheap. Where's the attention in the eep? So one of those ones I was saying, you can't pronounce this one without placement. Some of them were cheap. Some of them were boring. You better be repeating after me. Don't just stare at me. Your pronunciation is not going to get better just staring at me. Imitate what you hear right here. Some of them were boring. Some of them were boring. Listen here, not to the letters, not to the mouth. Some of them were smart. Some of them were smart. Some of them were young. Some of them were young. All right. So that's it. That's all you need for today, for this week. Practice this all week with musicality, sliding, pitch, vibration. Some of them were. And then start playing around with whatever adjective you want to add on. And then you'll have this in your bag or repertoire. And you can pull it out anytime you want without thinking about it. And that's how you build the language, not by memorizing the grammar rules. All right. So, guys, if you want more practice material, as always, go to Rachel's English. There's a link here in the description. There's a link on this web page here. Use my coupon code, get 10% off. You can get downloadable audios. to practice phrase chunks just like this, focusing on your listening, right? Rachel's English Academy, use the coupon code Josh10. That gives you 10% off. So today was a big show. This was probably the most important show that I've done or ever will do. This is the thing that opens the door for you to be able to hear the language differently and understand how to drive yourself or move yourself in the right direction. So it's not something you're going to change immediately overnight, but it is the thing that is going to make the biggest difference for the way you hear the language and the way people hear you. So don't forget, if you guys want me to check your pronunciation, you can book a quick accent check. It's a live 15-minute call. I'll listen to you. I'll help you understand what your placement sounds like. And then I'll give you the materials to start practicing and moving forward. So that's it, guys. Thank you for joining me. If you have questions after this, drop them in the chat or the comments of the replay. And we'll be back live in the next couple of days with a brand new lesson. So now that you know about placement, you guys really, really, really just boosted up your